I am Dr. Owulabi, presently in South Korea. Can you see my face as well?
Yeah, your screen, your face, everything visible.
Okay, good. So I'm going to use 10 minutes to just do the presentation and take 10 minutes to put you through on how to exactly do this. I'll be talking on how to secure a scholarship in Australia. And first and foremost, we know Australia happens to be an English-speaking country, so language might not be a problem there. So these are the contents. The first thing is you have to search for the university, you check your eligibility, then you find a supervisor, then you have to get the consent of the supervisor, then you have to express your interest, then invitation to apply, lodge a formal application, and you apply for scholarship. So I'm going to take you through this, through the PPT, and I'm going to do exactly what you are expected to do by going to one of the universities and try to put you through. So if you want to search for a university, this is the best two ways to do it. studyaustralia.gov.au. You go through it, or a simple Google search. I'll teach you. In fact, I'm going to base my practice on a single, what's it called? A simple Google search. After you have searched for a university and you got a university that you want, there's a way you're going to do that. Then after you've gotten the university you want, the next is to check your eligibility. By checking your eligibility, it means that you need to go to the department in which you want to apply to. I'll show you, like I said, and this is where you will know if you have the required qualification to apply. The required qualification simply means I've seen some countries, especially maybe in Africa, even in Asia, in which maybe their own Bachelor of Science, it is not 4 years. So, and that is where you are going to check if they are going to accept your own bachelor, or as the case might be. So after you've done this, you now find a supervisor. Now you've checked the eligibility, you've seen that, yes, actually I can, this is the department I want, I am qualified to apply to this department. You are now going to check the supervisor's area of interest to see if it matches what you want to do. Then another thing is you're going to send a message to the professor to introduce yourself and to show interest in his or her area of research. I will show you, the next slide is an example of a message that was sent even this last month to a professor at a university in Australia. And you're going to see how it is being written and the response of the supervisor. And in sending sorry, can you hear me, please?
Yes, your voice is very clear, sir.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
so
we can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much. So the next thing is that while sending this message to the supervisor, you need to attach your CV. Note, you don't need to attach a CV that is as lengthy as anything, just maybe 2 or 3 pages that is going to talk more about your area of research in line with what the supervisor is doing. There's a way you can fine-tune your CV to match what the supervisor is doing. It's not as if maybe you are going to use the same CV you use to get your job if you're working, and you are going to use the same CV as well. There's a way they do that. So after that, the transcripts, you collect the transcript, you have the student copy, as they call it in Nigeria, you attach that as well. Then the certificate and the research proposal, yes, it is very key in securing an admission in Australia. So these are the things you are going to send to the supervisor. After you send this to the supervisor will sometimes might read and sometimes might not read. And another thing is, kindly note that because the supervisor is using an institutional email, most of your messages will go to the spam. It is only luck that is going to make the supervisor to even go to the spam and check your message. And it is only luck that is going to redirect some of your messages to the supervisor's inbox. And that does not mean even if the supervisor sees your message in the inbox, he might read it and he might not even read it. It depends. So after you have done this, then this is an example of what's it called? A message sent by students to Monash University, to the department. Yeah. And I just tried to screenshot this for you to see. And the message was sent last month on the 10th of January 2022, and the professor responded 31st. You can see this one is normal thing. You are going to, we have a lot of SOPs on how to write this. We'll share it with you later. But just see, it said, dear so. Thanks very much for your email. If you are interested in pursuing a research-based master's at Monash University, you can apply here to this. Do you now get that the professor has to give you a consent? Now the person has gotten the consent of the professor, and the professor is now telling the person this is where you need to apply to. Then after you have done this, the next thing is immediately you click on this, you are going to see some of the informations. I'm going to show you, like I said. So what you need to do is to express your interest to the school. While expressing your interest to the school, there is a place that you are going to see that, have you contacted a professor? You said yes, and you put the name of the professor. And since you have actually contacted a professor, the school is going to contact the professor, so has asked us for this, and he said that he has contacted you. The professor is going to say yes, because you have established a relationship with the professor by doing what I have highlighted. So by the expression of interest, all you have to do again is to do almost the same thing that you did for the professor by submitting all this, the CV, the transcript, and the likes. Then the English test, if applicable for Nigerians, there is a space there. Most of it, if you have your IELTS, it's going to boost your chance. But if you don't have, there you can actually apply without English test. So, and you have to put the name of referee. I'm going to talk about that in the next example. So after you have done this, the school is now going to check if you are eligible, because the applicant whose expression of interest is successful will then receive an invitation to apply by the school to make an application for admission. Kindly note that by getting the invitation to apply does not guarantee that the admission is going to be given to the students, because each application will be subjected to individual assessment via application process. So after you've done this, the school has sent you, you can now apply. Now you are now going to formally lodge your application. Once an invitation to apply is issued, applicants can lodge the formal application online. I'm going to just run through it as well. The link will be provided to the applicant, and the same link again. If, let's assume the school does not provide a link for you, there is in the department that you have gone to, when I started this, explaining this rather, you can get the link to it. So you are going to apply for the scholarship again after you have, because there's a space that are going to ask you, do you want to apply for scholarship? You said yes. So thank you. Let me quickly now run through how to do it. I believe I have some minutes. Engineer Murray, I have some minutes, right?
Boy, you still have more time.
Okay, I have more time. Let me quickly run through this. So, okay. I'm going to stop sharing and reshare. Like Engineer Aliu said, any question you have on this, it is going to be after all of us have presented. So we'll have time to answer your question. Okay, now can you see this, please?
No, not seeing it. Yeah, we can see it now.
Okay. Can others? I just need maybe another person to say yes.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Okay, good.
Just type yes. Just type
good,
yes.
Good.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
Just type yes. Thank you. Now, just to rush through because of the time, this is the message, the link the professor sent to the applicant. The one I just showed you. So now, the first thing is you go straight. So now, like I explained, you can see the first thing is you have to check your eligibility. Kindly note, you can see the link, right? You can see that I have to go to the department. The person wanted to apply for something related to theater and art. You have to go to the department, like I said. And when you get to the department, you are going to check your eligibility. You check the eligibility for if you want to apply for a doctor of philosophy, you check the eligibility. Because of time, you can go through this. Then they have two masters. Most of the universities are the PhD is PhD. You cannot have different kind of PhD. But for masters, you can have masters with 100% research, and the one which is going to comprise of both the coursework and the research. From the message the professor sent, she specifically told the student the one the student should apply for. So after you've checked your eligibility, now, like I said, you have to find a supervisor. If you want to apply for instance, I'm just using this as a case study for media communication. You click on this history story. Let me just click on one for you to see. This is where you are going to find the name. Now, if I'm going to look at this professor, for instance, you click on, you read more about the professor. You see everything you need to do about the professor. Oh, this is the professor I actually want. I don't want this professor. Then you go back. Let's say it is the linguistic and this. You do the same thing for each of the professors. So after you've gotten a professor, the next thing is you have to send your a message, like I've earlier said, to the professor. You can see complete academic transcript, CV, and your research proposal. Kindly note that each of the university, they have their format for research proposal. And if you got this, just click. This is telling you to click. When you click, you are going to see how they want the research proposal to be structured. Even if you write the best research proposal and you did not structure it the way they want you to structure it, they are not going to accept it. Kindly note that. So after you have done that, you send the message to the professor. The professor now agrees to, what's it called, to be your supervisor. Now, the next thing is to submit expression of interest, like I earlier said. And the same thing, the expression of interest, these are the things you are going to submit in line with the time. For instance, now, if the person wants to come in for July, December, he or she has to submit the expression of interest for this particular department and school before 1st of March. And the scholarship application on or before 31st of March, like I earlier said. So let me just, if you click on the expression of interest, these are the things you are going to do. See, so you have to make sure the copies of your official transcript is available, the copy of your official examiner, is a copy of CV. Because of time, if I just have to run through this, it is just what is your name, which school do you finish from before, what's your CGPA, well, do you have, what's the name of the thesis, your thesis title and the likes. Those are the information they are going to request from you. Then you are going to attach all this. It is based on this. Now, the school is now going to see if you are actually eligible or not. So after you have done that, the school will select if you are fortunate. And after the school have seen your documents and you have been opportune, the next thing is they are going to tell you, apply. Then you lodge a formal application. You are going to repeat almost the same thing, but this is just application, then you have to apply. Now, let me just quickly do something. Like I said now, for instance, let's assume I wanted to study computer science in a university in Australia, and I don't even know how to go about it. The first thing I can just say department. Or for instance, let's assume I'm just looking for a professor. That is, I can say professor of, actually computer science is a very wide field. Science in Monash University. Let's assume I've just click. You can see. Can you all see this place?
Yes, so we can see it.
Yes.
You see, you have different professors that is going to come out in the same. You can see now, Gopal Gupta, Computer Science, Monash University. So that is the power of you just searching without even allowing anybody to dribble you or do anything for you. Let's assume maybe I want to, let's choose another course because I still have 5 minutes. Let me utilize my 5 minutes. Professor of, let's say, electrical engineering at was, okay, New University of New South Wales, University of New South Wales. Okay, how did I know about all this university? I'm going to just do that Google search for you too now. Australia. You can see. And it is because I'm using Yahoo. Let me even use Google. If I use Google, I'm going to get more. Now Google, University, sorry, Professor of Electrical Engineering at University of Melbourne. That's another university there. Melbourne. Can you see? Can you see list of professors in the same university? I just need one. Can you? Okay, how did I know this? Let's assume I don't even know any of the universities in Australia. All you just need to do is that Monash University, just a simple Google search. Oh, okay, I just like this university, University of Melbourne, the University of Queensland, UNSW, University of Western this. So do you all get it now? So if you have a question, thank you. I think I have used my time.